One of NASA's most traveled spacecraft is still traveling through uncharted regions of the cosmos nearly 50 years after its launch. Voyager 1 is on a troubled and unknowable journey into deep space. Ever since the creation of the solar system and the creation of life on Earth, humankind has been curious about space, and that is they kept trying to explore more about it in any way possible. Hi guys, and welcome back to my YouTube channel. I have recently noticed virally circulated in the space news and related magazines about how a 50-year-old space venture by NASA is baffling scientists with its puzzling and confusing information, and therefore I've decided to dig into the topic and bring out the straight facts for you. So make sure to watch till the end. With that being said, let's get right into the video. This is why and how Voyager has sent back terrifying new data to Earth. But first things first, a bit on the spacecraft. Voyager 1 has been in space exploring the solar system since 1977, along with its sister Voyager 2. They were originally sent to study Jupiter and Saturn, their moons and Saturn's rings. For the two-planet mission, they were built to last just 5 years, but with their initial success, NASA doubled the mission's objectives to include 2 more giant planets, Uranus and Neptune. Initially intended to solve the mysteries of these giants, the spacecraft have explored 4 planets, 48 moons, and a host of planetary magnetic fields and rings. According to NASA, the spacecraft generate about 4 fewer watts of power every year, limiting the number of systems they can work on. The mission team has therefore turned off equipment to reserve power. Furthermore, no science instruments have been powered down yet. The goal is to keep the Voyagers running beyond 2025. Commenting on this bizarre situation that happened in May this year, NASA responded, "A mystery like this is sort of par for the course at this stage of the Voyager mission," said Suzanne Dodd, project manager for Voyager 1 and 2, in a NASA statement released Wednesday. Both Voyagers 1 and 2 are almost 45 years old, and that is far, far beyond their original life expectancy. And as we all know, interstellar space is a high radiation environment that no spacecraft has ever flown in before, and that is why unexpected situations are almost expected to arise. If we talk about its distance in orbit, the likelihood of receiving an abrupt message highly increases. Voyager 1 is 14.5 billion miles from Earth. That means light takes 20 hours and 33 minutes to travel that distance. So, the lag between getting a message to Voyager and receiving a response is about 2 days, and anything can happen in 2 days. But what exactly happened this time? Voyager 1's onboard system is responsible for keeping its high-gain antenna pointed at Earth, known as the Attitude Articulation and Control System, or AACS, started beaming home confusing reams of data instead of the usual reports about its health, location, and status. To put it more simply for you, it seemed as if the spacecraft had developed something like an electronic version of aphasia, a condition that causes the loss of fluent speech. The data may appear to be randomly generated, or does not reflect any possible state the AACS could be in, explained NASA in a statement from the time. Basically, AACS doesn't seem to match the spacecraft's movements and orientation, suggesting the craft is confused about its location in space. NASA said that from what its engineers can tell, Voyager 1's AACS is sending randomly generated data that does not reflect what's actually happened on board. In fact, the spacecraft's antenna seemed to be properly aligned as it was receiving and executing commands from NASA and sending data back to Earth. It said that so far, the system issue hasn't triggered the Age spacecraft to go into safe mode, during which it carries out only essential operations. So, the fact that perplexed the engineers more wasn't that the aircraft was sending odd information, but how it could when it appeared to be in perfect condition other than the bizarre status reports. Even the radio signal from the ship remained strong and steady, which meant that the antenna was still pointed at Earth and not in whatever configuration the AACS was claiming it was into NASA in the reports. Similarly, Voyager 1's science systems kept gathering and transmitting data normally as it does. In an initial statement, NASA said, "Until the nature of the issue is better understood, the team cannot anticipate whether this might affect how long the spacecraft can collect and transmit science data. But fortunately, they have been able to diagnose the problem and found a treatment too." So basically, the AACS had begun sending its telemetry data via an onboard computer that had stopped working years ago. And it was due to this dead computer that all the ongoing data was corrupted. What NASA engineers did was send the command to the AACS to use the correct computer for sending the data home. But the question of what caused the AACS to switch computers in the first place still remains unanswered. But scientists have joined their heads together to figure this out too. For now, what they know is that the system probably received a faulty command from another onboard computer. NASA says that it is not a major concern for Voyager 1's well-being right now, so be rest assured, our old mate is not dying. But adding to the above statement, they said that the true culprit would need to be found and fixed to prevent future weirdness. Voyager 1 has been cruising in interstellar space, out of the sun's magnetic field. That had offered the craft a little protection from cosmic rays and other interstellar radiation, much as the Earth's magnetic field offers some protection from high-energy particles and radiation from the sun. But even then, cosmic rays can interfere with electronics here on Earth, and so when one of those high-speed energetic particles strikes a computer chip, it can surely lead to minor memory errors, which accumulate over time and can be a reasonable reason for an issue for Voyager 1's onboard computers too. So, this was all about why and how Voyager has sent back terrifying new data to Earth. I hope you enjoyed this story of a glitch in one of the oldest space ventures. If you did, you could always appreciate my efforts by clicking the subscribe button and hitting the bell icon. See you in the next video.